Oh yeah, I ripped off the front of the car right there.
Do you hear the wind howling there?
Wow.
This is a preview of the storm system that will make its way through 21 country tonight. This is video from our sister station, KWWL, the big Channel 7 in Cedar Rapids. Doors blowing open as trees bow to the powerful winds there. Should we expect that kind of weather here in 21 country? Let's check in with meteorologist Gabe Prough. Gabe?
Good news is we are not looking at that magnitude of wind moving into 21 country, but we are still looking at some pretty strong winds on the way. Here's a look at our tower cam on the Skyview network. You can see off to the northwest, the direction those storms are coming from, some pretty overcast skies, and we have quite the recipe for those storms. Temperatures in the mid-80s, that feels like in the mid-90s when we factor in the humidity. So that's a perfect recipe for the storms, especially given the sunshine we had earlier. As a result, we have a severe thunderstorm watch in effect for all of our counties that goes into effect until midnight tonight. Where are those storms now? You can see they are right on our doorstep, especially to our western counties. You can see just to the west of Warsaw, basically in a north-south line, starting from South Bend, stretching all the way down through areas like Logansport, also now back down into Lafayette and West Lafayette. You can see these two severe thunderstorm warnings that have been issued so far. These go until 7 p.m. for 80-mile-per-hour wind gusts. So again, that is the concern as we move forward this evening, as this line seems to really be holding its intensity. You see a bit of a drop in the lightning a little bit as that's moved east. That can indicate some weakening. We'll see how much that trend continues. But as for now, you see a line of storms stretching all the way from central Michigan down in through southern Illinois back down to St. Louis, all a part of this same complex of storms that started back in South Dakota early this morning. That has caused quite a path of damage as it's moved all the way through Iowa. That damage over nearly 700 miles long. That means this could very well be classified as a derecho, which requires 250 miles of damage, with all of those damage reports being related to 58-mile-per-hour or greater wind gusts, and in addition to a few extra 75-plus mile-per-hour wind reports, and we have certainly had plenty of those. It's not too terribly unusual for this part of the country. You can see on average we normally get about one derecho every year. Again, basically a line of storms that is long-lasting. As for this evening, what can you expect for the timing? Again, within the next few minutes or so, by 7 o'clock, we start to see that line of storms approach our western counties at the latest. I would say even by 6:30 or so, extreme western Kosciuszko County will start getting in on some of that. That line then moves through fairly quickly. It's moving at around 55 miles per hour and is all the way through the viewing area by 10 p.m. So the good news is this will not be an overnight event. We're looking at these storms wrapping up by around 10, 11 p.m. or so. Then we're actually looking at some clearing conditions and some sunshine for your Tuesday. So that's some good news in that regard. As for the threat tracker, again, damaging winds will by far be the main threat. Some of those rather significant, near 80 miles per hour or so. We also can't rule out some pockets of quarter-sized hail, along with an isolated spin-up tornado. The good news is if we see any of those will likely be very brief, not looking at long-lived or very strong tornadoes this evening. Behind that line of storms comes some slightly cooler temperatures with highs in the mid-80s. The humidity, though, sticks around, which could also cause a few scattered storms late in the week.
All right, could cause some hair problems too, Gabe. Thank you for that. Big news may be coming on college football that you may not like. Dean is in next with sports.